Hello, friends. I welcome you to another session of Beyond Grief and Loss. In this session, you will learn along with me how specifically job loss grief works, and we will learn this through Journey of Suhasini, where I shall share with you a story that would help you understand how job loss grief actually work, and as a coach specifically helping those with the job loss experience, how I help and assist in resilience building. Job loss grief often is not really a very common term, very specific to Indian market. We may not be even aware of it, that it exists, but it does, and it has a deep impact not just on our mind but also on various other domains of our life. In our session today, I'll help you understand how a job loss grief, a negative consequences that follows after a job loss, the impact it creates, and what best can be done to combat it. So here's the journey of Suhasini, where I'll walk you through a very common scenario that most of us belonging to an IT industry would have had been through it or maybe experience it at some point or the other in our corporate life. Suhasini is from an IT industry. She is someone who holds an experience of somewhere between 7 and more years and is a project lead. Having worked for several years in various projects, she's now an expert and enjoys a team leader position. She has also been quite successful in her performance, in her career projection, right from the time that she joined the IT field almost 7 years ago, as just as a management trainee, to current being a project lead. And in her course of career, she's been through various performance reviews, some of which have been good, some of which may not be perhaps very good. But every year, a performance review in an IT industry gives people a check-in, feedback, or a promotion. This is also the time where one get to decide to stay back within a given role or move ahead or change or shift jobs. So in after close to around 7+ years and having worked in various complex projects, Suhasini, in one of her performance review, was told that she no longer has the job. It was very sudden. Something very, very typical of an IT industry where sometimes the projects are shelved without any due notice. At the same time, the roles are also shelved and people are laid off. Suhasini was not new to this, but personally she never experienced it. So when she got a pink slip, it really had a deep impact on her because she's always been a good performer all throughout her journey of 7+ years. This completely shifted her mindset because even though she was given a pink slip and she'd been asked to leave, there was some time period given to her to serve, and since the project was also getting shelved, she was told to look for a job elsewhere. But this was the most difficult phase in Suhasini's life. Friend, this is what we would call the beginning of a job loss grief. Most of us may have had been through these situations, not necessarily that we would always get a pink slip. It could also be that certain circumstances and consequences at life or even at work may sometimes compel us to quit. And here's where the job loss experience take a toll on us. In case of Suhasini, while you see this circle, she started with this, got into this vicious circle, because to her it was not expected. To say it very simply, she was not prepared. So she felt all sorts of emotions. She was confused, she sought safety, she was afraid, ashamed, and moreover, she was so much into this web of stress that she paid little attention, not just to her physical health, but even to the way it was taking a toll on her other domains of life. Immediately after she was laid off, she also found herself, not that she was just desperate to look for a job, but also she was having a tough time with her partner. She had dependents, and it was not just about money. So she was no longer the person she was, but has, within a span of a month, turned into somebody desperate, needy, irritated, agitated, sad, or trying to Google and understand, is she going through some kind of mental health illnesses, completely confused, seeking solace, asking herself the question on her own self-worth, having a very low confidence level, all of this. Now, most of us, as I mentioned earlier, do not really understand that everything that I'm describing here of Suhasini's experience is what anyone go through when they are either fired, removed from a job, laid off, or they themselves quit. And this is exactly what is called a job loss experience. It's very equivalent to any grief and loss experience. And this is where, if we are not resilient enough to bounce back, it may take a very heavy toll on our entire well-being, including our physical health, our mental health, and other domains of life. So Suhasini explored this idea. Fortunately for her, one of her friends suggested her to seek a coach, and when she connected with me, we worked on a plan. The coaching plans are very simple, friends. We typically try to help our clients understand not what is on the surface. It's not that a grief coach gives you a trick to or a hack to go and fetch a job in next 2 days. No, it's about helping the person, first of all, understand what exactly are they going through, the confused, complex emotional grip they are in, understand the root cause of it, plus what they can do best so that they can move forward in life in a more effective way. Besides getting another job, it's not just about a job. It's about preparing oneself, because grief and loss, whether it's due to job loss or any other thing, since we are one person and we connect to the whole world, including our key relations, our own health, any setback has a cascading effect everywhere. So when we work on the root of it, oftentimes I am myself surprised when I work including case of Suhasini, where we work and understood what exactly was really bothering Suhasini so much. It was not just the pink slip that she got of that she was no longer part of that organization, but there was a lot more. And as a coach, I really helped her pause, look inward, create a plan so that she does not have to really undergo the same complex emotional tornado and really lose out on her potential or on her overall well-being. Based on the plan that we created, I gave her a timeline, she got into action, and over a period of 5 months, Suhasini was back, not just in another job, but this time she was a different person. Because it's not like she kind of was someone who would now again never lose a job. That was not the case. The person that she became was a more resilient woman who understood where exactly were those reasons which kept her in this vicious circle of stress. What was it that was playing beneath the surface, the deep uh, issues that she carried with her so far till here. In a way, they were also having an impact on her performance, and that was precisely why she also got a pink slip. Because no organization will have any personal kind of any pleasure in removing or keeping people, but we as individuals, we tend to get our own set of success and failures in life. And the more we learn how to be resilient, how we recover and recover in the best way, something that we learned which we could repeat in various other aspects of life, is what would help us live a much more meaningful and a healthy life with a healthy mind, rather than staying caught up in the web. So this was in brief a glimpse of how Suhasini found her way beyond her grief. Friends, grief and loss, I would say they're part of our life, almost of everyone's life. There's no escape from it. And one of the ways that we could learn how we recover is resilience. But it's a life skill. And it just does not come by some trial and errors. Rather, it requires a very planned approach to it. And that's something that you could get while you work with your coach and build that over a period of time. So I urge you, if you feel that you do not want to be another Suhasini or a Subhash who would get caught up in this vicious circle of stress, and it takes a cascading effect on your other key areas of life, including your relationship with your partners, with your family, kids, parents, siblings, dependents, whoever they are, or even on your health, the best way is to invest in yourself and build your life skill, which is of resilience. Well, that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and for being my audience and listener. If you have any further questions, you could connect with me on the coordinates shared here. Thank you.